How you doing? Back down here in my super small, super messy shop again, and we're gonna do another little knife review. This is on buck knives. I've got a few, 5. I've got a bunch of folders too, but we'll just stick with fixed blades for today. And a couple different sizes, a couple different applications. I got some homemade ones too. I'll show you. We'll do those last. This is the Buck Pathfinder. It's a nice little knife. It's a good size. It's not too big, not too small. Nickel silver um, guard and pommel. It claims to be a full tang, but I'm not sure how they attach it. I'm sure it's like a rat tail tang. It's a nice little knife. It's about a 6-inch blade, and this is it's got a leather sheath. The only complaint I would have with the sheath, this one and the next knife, is, let's see if I can snap it with one hand here. Yes, I can. Listen, very noisy. Doesn't fit very tight. It doesn't fall out, but it's noisy. You're trying to sneak through the woods. That's not helping you any. So let's take that back out. We can lay it side by side with the bigger one. So that's the Pathfinder, and this is the Special. What is it, model 19, I think, something like that. They're virtually identical knives, except one's just a lot bigger. And again, same construction. Not sure what the handle's made out of. Some sort of man-made plastic material, but we've got some, can you see that? We've got some spacers in there. Some spacers on the back, too. Nice blade. It's good and sharp. It's good and sharp. It's nothing I would use to clean deer or anything like that. It's a bit big for that. Pathfinder would work better for that. But I wouldn't hesitate to split some kindling with it, any cutting chore, it's good for that. And these are both relatively inexpensive knives. Actually, most of the Buck line are. For the money, they're well-made knives. So we've got those two there with their sheaths. Then this is actually the one I use the most. This one's called the Vanguard. And it's a very sharp hollow ground blade. Got some brass on it. It's got a rubberized handle, and it's a secure, sturdy knife. And then the blade's not too long. You know, I know some guys love a nice long blade on a knife. I'm not a big fan of it. You just hurt yourself with the things. That's a good size. I've dressed many a deer with this. Probably other animals too, to be honest with you. So there we got the Vanguard. This is the Nighthawk. This was a very expensive knife compared to the other ones. It's got a brushed blade or bead blasted blade. It's again a rubberized handle. Very heavy, very thick. It's a solid 1/4-inch thickness. The only complaint I have about this knife is the bevel was terrible. The angles on both sides of the blade weren't even the same. I don't know if they made this one on a Friday afternoon or what, but I ended up regrinding the blade to give it a much better edge. And it's sharp now, but it wasn't when I bought it. It was terrible. I almost took it back, to be honest with you. But now it's looking good now. And you can do anything with this knife. It's indestructible. You're not going to hurt it. You can batten it through wood and split wood and hack down saplings, whatever you want to do. It's got plenty of weight to it. Again, I wouldn't use it for dressing deer. It's just the blade is a little big for that. It's a solid 7 inches, 8-inch blade, something like that. And then we have this little one over here. I have no idea what the name of this is even. It's got a chintzy plastic sheath. I want to say it was only a $20 knife. Not very expensive. So this is my, I hate to say it, but my sacrificial knife. If I've got to do something that might damage a knife, I use this one. Now, you know, I can see the red right there. That's actually buffing compound. Instead of stropping my knives, I use the buffing wheel. It does a fine job of it. So I put the edge on it till I get that burr, you know what I mean? Instead of stropping it on leather, I, right over here on the, I'm trying to do this and look through the phone at the same time, I just take that burr off with the buffer. Works real nice. It does leave a little residue on the handles and whatnot, but it makes for a nice sharp blade. So this is my sacrificial knife. If I'm going to do something that might damage a knife, I'm going to use this one. Only because it's cheap, not because it's you know, badly made. So again, it's got the rubberized handle. You can feel the tang inside the handle. It goes most of the way down there. You can feel it. But how they secure the handle, not really sure. There's probably perforations in the steel, and the handle is just injection molded over it, I would assume. But inexpensive knife, and it'll get the job done. The sheath, where'd I put it? Right there. Not impressed with that at all. Just cheap plastic. It's kind of a hard plastic. I think if you caught it on a bush or something, you'd probably break it and lose your knife. So, you know, keep that in mind if you buy one of these. Leave it in your pack. Use it as the sacrificial knife. So there you have it. We've got a no-name knife. Don't know what it's called. We've got the Pathfinder. We've got the Special. Vanguard, my favorite of all the knives here. And the Nighthawk. This seems to be the most popular knife and the most expensive knife. I guess it looks cool. I don't know. I don't buy a knife because it looks cool. I'm after the function. It does have a nice, what would you call that? Thumb rest, I guess. It's a softer rubber right there, and it gives you a good grip. It really does have a good grip all the way around. Fits nice in the hand. Okay, so there's the buck knives, and I'll show you a couple that I made too. This was the first knife I ever made, and it's crude, I'll be honest. But like I said, the first one, I was experimenting. I made it out of a piece of angle iron, 1/4 inch. Yeah, it's easily a 1/4 inch thick. And it was 3x3 angle iron, so this is just mild steel. It doesn't hold an edge very well. You can't even get it that sharp. Well, you could cut yourself with it if you wanted to, but like I said, first knife. Handle is, I mean, it's obviously wood. There's a full tang up through there. I soldered the pommel on to the end of the blade, end of the handle. And we've got some brass pins. I'm assuming this wood came from pallets. It looks like it's probably red oak. Hard to say. Polyurethane on the handle, which I don't do on my newer knives either. But listen to this. I mean, it's a heavy knife. It may not cut, but you could whack something over the head with it. What else would you do with it? But first knife. This is made from a file, so this is good high carbon steel. I made these for whittling. See the size of the handle? Excuse my dirty hands, I just got home from work. My wife's got company, so I ran down here to the shop. But nice long handle so you can get yourself a good grip. I left the, can you hear that? I left the file edge on the top there so you got something to rest your thumb on and grip your thumb. And these are very sharp. Man, they hold an edge nice. Being a file, they're a little brittle, so you wouldn't want to pry anything with it. But that's not what it's made for. I whittle with them. Actually, this was the first one I made. Slightly different profile to the blade, but they're essentially the same thing. You know, this I smooth the handle over a little bit, which aesthetically looks better. But to be honest with you, when your hand gets tired and sweaty, I like the more square handle. See the square edges? I mean, they're rounded over a little bit, but it gives me a better grip. It's just personal preference, that's all. But anyway, there you go. A couple more knives made out of files. That's my favorite material for making knives. And one club made out of mild steel. Here's my next project that I've started. I've roughed out the shape. This is also a file. It's my very last file. I'm upset about that, but what are you going to do? But, you know, I got a little finger grip here. Nice shape to the handle. Short, you know, good sized blade. It is 1/4 inch thick. It's pretty thick, so I'll probably do a flat grind on this. What I've been thinking of doing is completing this one with videos. I'll post them on YouTube. I mean, if you guys are interested, just say so in the comments, and I'll make videos of it, of the completion of it, and I will post it on YouTube, see how it comes out. Don't know what I'll do for the guard yet. Probably brass. That's my favorite material. As far as the handle, I've got some walnut left. I've got some cherry left. Always got oak and ash, hardwoods. I might buy an exotic wood this time. Some bubinga or something crazy. I don't know. I have some spalted maple too, now I think about it. Anyway, maybe I'll make some videos of the completion of this knife. I actually started this thing months ago, and I've been so busy I haven't gotten back to it. But it was 6 months ago, probably. Of course, I'm still busy, so it might take me a while. But there you have it. I won't bore you anymore. Couple buck knives. A couple more homemade knives. I got plenty of more homemade knives. If you guys want to see more, just say so. Just post it in the comments.